respected speakers, panelists who have taken their time from their busy to be part of this dialogue number 7 and to set the stage of what Ketiwala does. We have a very small presentation. Thereafter, we'll introduce both the panelists, and then the floor is ready for both the panelists. This is the first slide on Ketiwala, cultivating a prosperous future for farmers' welfare, and it is one of the brainchilds of Haldhari Technologies Pvt Ltd. We are present in different cities, prominently in Gurgaon, Bangalore, and Telangana state, and spreading to other cities as well. Hope my presentation is seen.
Yeah, we could see it.
Okay, so we begin with who we are. It's one of a kind agri-tech application Android app, which is available on your mobile phone, Google Play Store. I installed it. It took only 1 minute, and it provides right guidance and financial assistance from Niveshaks, who are visionary investors who are passionate about farming. The farmers contribute to society, give us food on our table, and not just Indians, everybody, be it Russians or Ukraine, whether they are in midst of a war, they need food. As a gesture of gratitude to farmers who work tirelessly to ensure food to entire mankind, we launched Ketiwala, a farmer-friendly app that supports farmers' journey to progress. What we do is we connect with the right Niveshaks. We did so in the recent event where face-to-face we gave checks of 25,000 rupees to 25 farmers, and next step would be we would do it for 1,000 farmers. And we are doing knowledge sharing platform, we have magazine, we are doing dialogues, and we are creating a digital repository for the University of Agriculture Scientists. We also provide sales assistance and market linkage. So how we accomplish these objectives is we have a number of tools with us, architected by K. Lakshman, our founder. One is called Kheti Kalyan. As the very name suggests, it looks after the welfare of the farmers. Next is Mandal Kendras, and Mandal is something like a block. I worked in the National Informatics Center, where one of our panelists is former Director General of National Informatics Center. I have introduction about both the speakers. So during that time, I worked on rural development. So I worked on integrated rural development, Jawahar Rozgar Yojana, and we divided the fund that the district gets into various panchayats and then for various activities. That was the thing I used to do. So audience, please refrain from doing your own markings on the slide as we are doing it for everyone. Don't distract it kindly. So next is Anusandhan. This is where we do collaboration. We meet people not just virtually by face-to-face too. We conduct KV dialogue. We have some new developments of KT dialogue we are doing in every language possible in India. We will talk about that in other slides. We have an innovative concept called Kheti Kosha, which is like a accumulation of the land masses, which we can optimize and bring synergy between the farmers and those who own the land for effective utilization, and that we call Kheti Kosha. There is also Ketiwala. Electronically, we want to perform digitalization. Both the panelists are experts in that domain. And we bring about Ketiwala Agri magazine. And in Anusandhan, what we do is we connect the farmers with investors, collaboration with agriculture stakeholders, explore new avenues in sustainable farming practices, and do crop improvement techniques. Recently, I was in Tamil Nadu where we did focus on water in one of the locations there in Thalli Road, and technology integration also we perform. Kheti Kalyan, as the very word suggests, it is to look after the welfare of the farmer. So we bring the investors and farmers onto the same platform. I've seen with my own eyes when the former director of ISRO, Sri A.S. Kiran Kumar sir, came when we handed over checks to 25 farmers in University of Agriculture Sciences, Dharwad. And we intend to do the same in another forum, bringing 1,000 farmers together. We conduct KT dialogues. This is our dialogue number 7 with Sri Haldhari Iyer sir and Professor Moni. We introduce their profiles very soon. And we talk about various topics on agriculture by subject matter experts like today's 2 speakers. And we also invite specialists from companies of agriculture, like once we had IFCO company representing us, professionals, and also we had government representation from the Cooperative Federation. And we collaborate and gather crucial feedback so that it helps global community of agriculture practitioners. And we have Mandal Kendras. They are based on the crop growth in a particular area, from crop drones to monitor drones. I am a certified pilot of UAVs by Directorate General of Civil Aviation. We are also conducting drone trainings. And Ketiwala is very much interested in a drone as one of the effective tools in the modern era. And we encourage accountability and innovation. And we also do input sales for agriculture supplies and financial and marketing guidance. And we supply high quality seeds and pesticides to Indian farmers. These are all the activities we would like to do channelized through the Mandal Kendras because they are very much close to farmers. And we have Ketiwala magazine. You can see that Ikigai is a word in Japan, and a space where farmers and investors come together, exchange ideas, and inspire one another to shape the brighter future for agriculture. So agripreneurism, and then for dreamers, those who are from anywhere in the world, but they want farmers to be more involved in the process, so that we actually solve several challenges. One is global warming, another is international food crisis, and several other challenges together by focusing on agriculture. And entrepreneur endeavors that revolutionize farming sector, information on machine usage, technical specifications on financial options, and subsidy to revolutionize the entire agriculture domain. We have also a YouTube channel, and we will be available 24/7 with agri news, and we will enrich as we progress with a lot of more dialogues in every possible Indian language. And Ketiwala is a platform for farmers to sell their agriculture produce. It is a very good practice to encourage them to get market access. We simplify the sales process, ensure margin, and boost their profitability and bridge the gap between farmers and consumers. Kheti Kosha, as I made a mention of it, it's a bank of agricultural land where small or marginal farmers can practice farming on the land which someone else owns for just at least one session, one particular crop. Later on, they can plant a different location, different crop. This is the idea. And we are delighted to unveil new features. Our dialogues will happen in Telugu, Hindi, Kannada, Marathi, and Tamil. And thanks to everyone who is supporting us with dialogue moderators and also good speakers, as we are enjoying in English with lots of brilliant minds like Professor Moni and Haldhari Iyengar sir, Professor Vivekananda and others. KV Dialogues comprehensive website is designed to create a insight on KV Dialogue and update on session schedules, connect with like-minded individuals passionate about agriculture. We're going to bring up this website very soon. And we also do pure agri talks in WhatsApp. In the previous slide, I want to stay on this slide because it focuses on today's panelists. I just want to read through the main topic and then what is written about description about speakers. And again, we have a slide on their profile. So today's topic is International Year of Millets. This year we have done wonderfully in terms of breakthroughs. For example, 23rd August, very fresh in all our minds is India is on moon. And so India is also G20 leader. And we have the now we have the presence in the world and everyone is looking up to India for breakthroughs. So why not in agriculture? So I know that both the speakers have already been doing a lot of leadership roles in promoting the cause of India's mission abroad in various panels. So we are really fortunate to have both of the learned scholars. I would like to first read Sri Parthasarathy Iyengar, what's written in this slide. He's founder and CEO of India Startup 360. And he's also founder of Millet Mart Ventures Private Limited, co-founder actually, and AA Millet Foods and Enterprises Private Limited. And he's also president of All India Millet Producers Association and many more things. And Professor Moni Madhuswamy is a former Director General of National Informatic Center and the Government of India, New Delhi. And he's Professor Emeritus and Chairman of several organizations. And we will read about their abbreviations in the description in his profile slide. And currently is a Shobit deemed university, Meerut. He's one of the professors there. So we have really very learned scholars in our Dialogue-07. Dr. Professor Moni Madhuswamy is kind of a emeritus professor of Shobit Institute of Engineering and Technology. It's a deemed to be University Meerut. And he's leader at Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, Center for Health Informatics and Computing, and former DG of National Informatics Center. And what I would like to ask the attendees is, please do type your questions in the chat box. And we will ask, when we ask you to speak, please unmute and speak. And again, get back to mute. And each panelist, I would request to spend nearly 20 to 25 minutes, 10 minutes for question answers. We can actually combine question answers of both the panelists. And so it will be like nearly half an hour each panelist will speak, and then we'll see the question answers. So we might exceed a little bit over 1 hour today. So now, Professor Moni.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kishore. And I'm also very happy that Dr. Iyengar had a very effective presentation on how technology can play a very important role.
Moni sir, I'm honored in one way. You are the only person still remember that I am a doctor and you mentioned fail not to miss that word, doctor. Thank you. I'm honored.
Very much. And it is a very important presentation. And you know, it is, we have been closely associated. And he also mentioned that I'm his mentor that also has and Dr. for and Dr. Kishore for inviting me to participate. I'm very happy that Ketiwala is it's a very important platform for a prosperous future for farmers' welfare. I was waiting impressed by it. And also connecting farmers to foreign dreamers. This is very important. We have 145 operation holders.
Raise hand, raise it.
We have 400 agriculture commodities. And we 89% of the operation holders are small and marginal farmers. So we need such type of platform for the farmer for to connect small and operational holders. I think you and mission statement is fantastic, and I was quite impressed. And I was also listening to the president by Dr. And he talked about additional charges and also in the yields, resource and manual processing. To give a perspective on these three things, India generates about $40 billion worth of agriculture. Thank you, and Dr. Kishore Kumar has introduced me effectively, and see I would like to get a general perspective. This year is an International Year of Millets, and the resolution was aimed at promoting the nutritional as well as ecological benefits of the millets. And an honorable finance minister said during the 2022-23 budget speech, that she also said it that support will be given for post-harvest value addition, enhancing domestic consumption, branding millet products nationally as well as internationally. And 2018, India has declared as the National Year of Millets. So these are all some of the perspective which I was trying to put it. But the credit goes to the Agriculture Minister of Karnataka, Honorable Shri Krishna Bhairakaula. He raised the issues in such a manner that it was a rare occasion to help millet growers who are mostly poor and marginal farmers from parched areas, and this has the potential to change the fortune of the millet growers. So far, only spices and basmati rice are dominating the Indian exports. But now there is a golden opportunity to add millets to the export basket. But this can happen only if we really evolve a meticulous plan and work accordingly. Yes, that we in India, we have got 8 millet categories, and it is also known for nutrient-rich content having characteristics like drought tolerance, photoinsensitivity, and resilient to climate change. And it grows in arid and semi-arid tracts under low rainfall, 200 to 600 millimeters conditions, where fine cereals like wheat and rice cannot be grown profitably. India is among the largest global producer of millets, with Rajasthan the top millet producing state, catering to over 40% of the total production in the country. India produces all the 8 commonly known millets and is the largest producer and second largest exporter of the millet globally. These are also grown in the states of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana. And it is due to the short growing season, millet can develop from seeds to ready to harvest crops in just about 65 days. And millet cannot only grow in poor climatic and soil conditions, provide nutritious grain as well as fodder, but this also can very well fit into multiple cropping systems under irrigation as well as dry land farming due to their short growing, seasons. The prolonged and easy storability of millets under ordinary conditions has given them the status of famine reserves. And this feature is of great importance for India as the agriculture of our country suffers from unexpected changes in monsoon. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare's report 2016 and 2017, that the area under cultivation of millet declined with 60% of the less coverage to 14.72 million hectares due to the change in consumption pattern, conversion of irrigated area for wheat and rice cultivation, unavailability of millet, low yield, dietary habits, less demand. And this is some of the indications which were available. And luckily, this year is an international year of millet, and the consumption of millet has gone up. And millets have a wide capacity for adaptation because they can grow from coastal region of Andhra Pradesh and to moderately high altitudes of northeastern states and the hilly regions of Uttarakhand. Millets can withstand variations in moisture, temperature, and the type of soil ranging from heavy to sandy infertile lands. And this is some of the documented which is available. But there are also government schemes which are policymakers have refocused their attention towards millet farming systems and enacted policies to create an enabling environment for the farmers. With respect to millet production, some of the existing schemes of Government of India include integrated cereal development programs in coarse cereal, an initiative for nutritional security through intensive millet promotion, and rainfed area development program, a component of Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Millets have gained attention and efforts are underway to obtain their convenient and value-added processed products. Dr. Iyengar, quoted a lot of things that. Since many households in dry land and hilly region depend on millets to meet their food needs, it has now been proposed to enlarge the food basket and include millets like jawar, bajra, ragi, etc. in the public distribution systems there. And millets are termed as the miracle grains or the crops of the future. And the production of millets does not depend on the use of chemical fertilizer. Millet crops do not even attract pests and do not affected by storage. And its nutritional values, it contains vitamins, minerals, dietary fiber, or other nutrients. And it is nearly 3 to 5 times nutritionally superior to wheat and rice. And this one slide, which is taking us in a very big manner, that is that millet rice. Rice contains 130 calories per 100 grams as against 190 calories in millet. Rice is high in carbohydrates, 28.7 grams, then millet 23.7 grams. Millet has a high carbon content, 3 milligrams, than rice 1 milligrams. Now, these are all when you see these, the characteristic with the 8, millets, it is fantastic. And, I have, I conduct a lot of webinar series, and in view of the, the importance, Mr. Satyaraman is an expert on millet value chain. he delivered this talk, International Webinar Series, is being organized by the Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology on a very important topic, millet value chain from IoT to blockchain traceability roadmap. But today he has practiced it. And he also talked about that, the various, millets, which is where it's being grown and so on and so forth. And he also talked about emerging food trends, traditional versus ancient foods, functional foods, immunity boosting foods, gluten-free foods, prebiotic, probiotic foods, high antioxidant foods, and so on and so forth. And he also compared with the South Indian food, North Indian, West Indian, East Indian, Chinese, and so on and so forth. And he also talked about the nutrition value comparison. This video is available in our website. You can go through it. It's fantastic. He compared with millet, proso millet, with protein content, fat, carbohydrates, energy, calcium, iron, with respect to brown rice, whole wheat, flour wheat, dry maize, and millet value. They also crop-wise profit comparison. And it's gives a highest probability to farmers than wheat and rice. Millets are 3-cycle crop, and farmer can get yield of around 15 quintals per acre in a year and an annual net profit of 39 to 45,000 per acre. And benefits of cluster model and value-added millet food processing, these are also, he has talked about it. And when Dr. Iyengar talked about in detail that the digitalization with respect to the millet value chain. So I would like to inform the audience that in view of the importance, when the International Year of Millet was announced, last year, myself and Satan Raman made a presentation to the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and how to take up pilot projects with the millet as a component. That also has got us some background. I was closely associated with the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 Committee and Dr. Ashok Dalwai Committee reports. And I chaired 2 subgroups. Volume 11, that is Agriculture Extension and ICT, and Volume 12B, Digital Technology and Agriculture. I was able to bring my experience from 1987 onwards from the district level programs, and 1995 giving a IT blueprint for the entire agriculture sector. And then after my retirement, after joining the Soviet Institute of Engineering as Professor Emeritus, and then part of the Doubling Farmers' Income Committee report, I was able to give that the knowledge from 1987 to this volume 12B and suggested a 7 mission mode program for total digitalization of Indian agriculture sector. And that gives a framework for digitalization. And millet, every crops is needed. And there, in one of the recommendation is that digital transformation of agricultural systems, smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and the third one is smart tribal farming. And that one is now, it's as a smart tribal farming. And since Her Excellency, the President of India, Madam Draupadi Murmu was taken over as the president, we thought that let us operationalize smart tribal farming as a component. We went to the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, made a presentation. They asked us to submit the proposal from the state government. We went to many states now, many districts, many states, a cluster of 10 to 15 tribal villages have been identified with the local NGOs, and now the project discussions and project proposals will be submitted very soon from the state government. and tribals. The discussions which we had with many of the, from starting from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from northeastern region to both, Gujarat, many of the tribals, they grow millet, they don't have a value chain. And that their agriculture is a sustainable agriculture. And that has to be globally, it has to be globally integrated from the primitive value chain. And this is, is one aspect from the national perspective. And is not only, and we have about 400 agriculture commodities, which has to be, digitally, agriculture value chain has to be created. Then we also had an occasion to moderate an international webinar organized by the ARDO, African Asian Rural Development Organization. Since this topic is with respect to the national perspective and international perspective, I was quite impressed by some of the countries. They made a presentation. I thought that some of the major recommendations which were made in that presentation to bring it to the the benefits of the participants of this dialogue. There are about 7 presentations. I'm not going to put in only the major recommendation. I would like to put it in a good perspective. Dr. Anil Pratap Singh, former additional commissioner, talked about introduction to millet and its cultivation, trends and possibilities in RDO member countries. Lot of policy decisions, but many of the farmers do not even know at the grassroots, even with respect to millets. That's why I thought to bring it out. And Mr. Karthikeyan is a program advisor in Dawn Foundation. They have done wonderful job, wonderful work in South Asia and many South Asian countries, revalorizing small millets in rain-fed region of South Asia for the last 10 to 15 years. And millet value additions, challenges and perspective by the CEO NutriHub and Mr. Dr. Ravi Kumar from Indian Institute of Millet Research. And Mr. Satyanarayanan, he talked about global millet market and strengthening millet value chain in Africa and Asia, challenges and perspective. And Dr. Debabantiya Mohapatra, senior scientist from Central Institute of Agriculture Engineering, talked about innovative and affordable technologies for enhancing production and value addition of millets. And Mr. James Rema Maisa, Director of Food and Crops Monitoring from Kenya, talked about challenges in millet cultivation, farmers' perspective in Africa with a thrust on Kenya. And from Nigeria, secretaries to strategies to involve rural youth and promote startups in millet cultivation, value addition, value chain. I was quite impressed by the strategies which are presented by the Nigeria representative, which is also meaningful for India. Some of the recommendations, that India has constituted about 6 task forces. Task force number 1, enhancing production and productivity of millet. Task number force 2, nutrition and health benefits of millet. Task force 3, enhancement of shelf life of millet. Task force 4, processing and value addition and recipe development of millets. Task force 5, international events for International Year of Millet 2023 and Millet Promotion Council. We have to prepare the farming community with respect to this task force. Lot of capacity building and skill development and entrepreneurship development are needed. And then he talked about 7 strategies and also setting up of millet parks, a common platform for startups to showcase their products, and forming a millet consortium to strengthen millet startup community, and establishing business to business linkages for startups globally. It's a very important thing. I thought that in this national perspective and international perspective talk, this is very important. Then from the Dan Foundation, they have done wonderful job. These practices has to be made available to our millet farmers. Integrated multiple constraints. He brought out inadequate policy support, production constraints, post-harvest constraints, inadequate attractive products, inadequate awareness and inadequate access leads to declining consumption and moving out of the state. And revalorizing small millets in a rain-fed region of South Asia. They have been working. They worked in 8 sites in India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, and from 2011 to 2014. And scaling up small millets post-harvest and nutritious food products project across India. Focus on scaling up small millet processing and value addition technology. They did it from 2016 to 2018. And they also created a small millet foundation 2018 onwards. And they have been working with Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, All India Coordinated Research Project on Small Millets Improvement Project, and Canadian universities and University of Winnipeg and Indian Institute of Millet Research and Machinery Fabricators and Food Enterprises. They have given a wide range of technology which needed to be made available to the millet farming community. And they also got a slogan, and they got out a film, Smart Millet, Our Food and Our Pride. And achievements of Small Millet Foundation, and looking forward to fruitful collaboration for mainstreaming small millets. And then the Indian Council of ICAR, the Central Institute for Agriculture and Engineering, talked about the lot of technology which was available, and they also talked about the USP of millets, which is very important. They talked about production side and also demand side. Dryland crop, short duration, grows well in marginal, low water, and minimal purchased inputs but responsive to high input management, resilience to climate change, and ideal contingent crop, and sustainable and potential future crops. And she also taught the president talked about demand side, nutri-cereals, rich in minerals, vitamins, dietary fiber, and antioxidant, possess health benefits, and so on and so forth. Ready to cook and ready to eat foods are available and offers as a functional foods and nutraceutical source. And she also talked about that is a global millet market and strengthening millet value chain in Africa and Asia. Mr. Sandan Raman talked about it. Very important. And this one is that the technology solutions include IoT enabled, artificial intelligence based, industry 4.0, automated, blockchain enabled, and in par with the CMM level 5. And there are many action plans for sustainable growth of plants. And I think this is worth mentioning, in this presentation, bringing more area under irrigated conditions, expansion of cultivated area, including fallow land, increasing hybrid seeds, seed treatment, mechanization of production, IPM practice, application of micronutrients, crop residue management, on-farm processing for employment generation of rural youth and women, and value addition and entrepreneurship for millet products, byproduct utilization, cluster of farmers, and self-help group for production and processing of millets, creating awareness and provided assured market. And from Kenya is also that they talked about various other constraints, but they also said it that we would like to have a digitalized finger millet value chain and sorghum value chain. This is the two requirements. They talked about it. They also talked about that, the lot of capacity building in the International Year for Millet Production and Consumption. And with respect to Nigeria, I liked it this one, that strategists, they wanted to serve the startup youth and they wanted to have a millet youth village. They said that they recommend to the government, each rural youth should be given some 2 acres, 3 acres of land and to create a millet village startup. This is what they talked about, establishment of improved millet farms in pilot states and pilot districts. Undertake study on existing millet processing factories nationwide and across Africa, Europe, America, and for the purpose of identifying market opportunities. Develop documentary movies to create awareness on opportunities to and so that the investors can be attracted. Conduct a baseline study to benchmark the impact of project on the beneficiaries. Undertake exploratory visits to the proposed partners such as identified research institution, financial institution, to firm up MOU with them. Engagement of a consulting firm to design implementation manual, signing of MOU, engagement, and so on and so forth. Conduct of a project startup and monitoring and evaluation workshop. Conduct of sensitization, awareness campaign around the state and so on and so forth. This is a planned activities which the state is now planned to do that in Nigeria is concerned. And this is with respect to the international perspective. And which Africa is growing a lot of millets and India is a major country. And I would like to suggest as a recommendation to the the KhetiValah dialogue. I have been proposing through these doubling farmers income committee report. We have to have to operationalize 7 mission mode programs, which has been as suggested in Dr. Ashok Dalwai committee report. One is digital transformation of agriculture systems. And we have taken it up as a smart tribal farming, but millets are grown in a rainfed area. Smart rainfed farming is a must. Dr. Iyengar has touched. And we have to bring in agromet advisories and comprehensive risk management solutions. It is a must for this farming community, especially for small and marginal farmers. Then we have to have a comprehensive agricultural resources information system and micro level planning data with respect to each village. And digitalized agriculture commodity value chain, 400 agriculture crops. And 127, climatic zone, and then digitalized access of inputs to the farming community, field, and digitalized integrated, land and water management. The last one is integrated farm health management, human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, fish health, and environmental health. It is all very important. And Dr. Iyengar talked about the adoption of digital technology in agriculture. It is a bigger framework. India has come out with that. And challenges in the millet, value chain, and also that, that how to bring it out. One example. But today, it's very important day because we have looked into the the national perspective and also that, the international perspective. Thank you very much, Dr. Kishore, for giving this opportunity to bring out this perspective. And I have been, involved in this, sector for the last 40 years, from the grassroots level, from 512 districts onwards, an IT blueprint for agriculture. Now I have, as a chairman of Professor Emeritus and chairman of the 5 centers of excellence, we also launched an MTech level program and PG diploma level program on agriculture informatics to bring our engineering graduates and non-engineering graduates to get into agriculture through adoption of technology. We have 4,500 engineering colleges, 43,000 non-engineering colleges teaching computer science, IIT, NIT, IIIT, and central universities. For them, agriculture agriculture use is not a case study for them. And this is a sector adoption of technology by the engineering colleges is a must. And this is where we are trying to propagate. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity of the KV Dialogue. I thank, and I also would like to involve and get associated with, the KhetiValah, value chain and how to get onto that. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, both of you have made us learn a lot. In fact, my first central government job was in Western region, Pune, National Informatics Center, and it's my pleasure to first listen to Parthasarathy Garu on various aspects, and then one of the leaders of National Informatics Center I could hear, and it's very delightful. And so this is as a token of appreciation. This is for you. And when we meet you, we would hand over these and other mementos.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
With that, thanks a lot. We spent 2 hours, and it's one of the best discussions that I have ever moderated.